Welcome back to another Beyond Worlds podcast. I'm Beyond Joe.
Well, I'm Stephen. How's it going this week, my friend?
Yeah, it's warm this weekend.
Yeah,
It's a bit
super nice.
Yeah, being British, I've obviously got to say a little bit too warm, maybe.
Nah, it's perfect. Yesterday there were two guys outside the pub before 9 a.m. with beers. Summer's on.
I love that. I absolutely love it. Tinny's on a wall. That's when I know it's summer.
It was weird. I didn't see the tinnies before I got to Tesco's. It was only on the way back, so they had them out there even earlier than that too. They looked like they'd been there a while. There was a bag on the table. So.
Oh, nuts! Good crack. Well, yeah, I'm glad to come in for a little bit of a respite. I've been outside digging up weeds, so yeah, I'm glad to be inside, a bit cool, and then I'll go back out later on when it's a bit less hot.
Yeah. I'll stay inside, but it's nice. When I do go outside, it will be occasionally. It will be nice. So I'll get some sun, just in small increments.
And we are back at it with another Kingdom Hearts retrospective episode.
Yeah, we're going to do our best, because it's probably going to be weird anyway. It's Kingdom Hearts. So.
Yeah, and the next two games in the series they were a bit weird. Like the fact of how they existed. So it's 358 over 2 days and Birth by Sleep. Both portable games. So much like Chain of Memories, they went back to the handhelds again. For an awful long time, didn't they? before they decided to finally go back to consoles.
Yeah.
Thinking about it, it was handheld just going forward from then on.
Yeah, pretty much. It's probably cheaper to produce.
Yeah. And they sort of buddied up again with Nintendo, which is nice. Square Enix trying to make amends. But yeah. What do you
mean amends?
Oh, so there's like a big thing. So during the N64 reign, their Final Fantasy VII was supposed to be an N64 game, and Square Enix were a bit like, you know what? I like PlayStation, and so they went across to PlayStation, and they did not release a single N64 game.
You can see how 7 would like. It's got the same polygons as Ocarina of Time. Now you say it, I can see it.
They just couldn't fit it on the cart.
Just like maybe
they couldn't even fit it on a single disc.
More angular. Yeah. So, that in production would have been a bit of a nightmare. Like,
it
might have been expensive.
Madness. But yeah, so we looked over Kingdom Hearts 1, Chain of Memories, and 2. So
touched on 2.
Yeah, I'd like to do a bit more on 2. I think we'll revisit.
2 needs its own episode. It's just so big, and there's so many plot lines that will connect.
Yeah.
To 2.
Well, what's funny about 358 over 2 days is it sits between 1 and 2. So it was released after 2 on the DS, but its timeline sits between 1 and 2. Did you ever play it 358 over 2?
I've watched. So when I had like the 1.8 remix or something, I think that's got it on there.
Yeah.
One of the HD remixes, the 2.3, 2.5 final Super Mega Ultra 6 remix. It's got like a video of it, and I think I watched most of it, but not all of it.
Yes,
so
it's a
I don't know
slog.
Much about that one.
So a 3-hour. They instead of remastering it or whatever, like they did with the majority of the other Kingdom Hearts games, they just did that. They turned it into a video, but they did all new updated graphics. So they went through and did all the cutscenes. So it just seems a bit weird to cut out the missions, but it was a weird game. So I can sort of see why. It had a totally different battle system for a start. So, battle system in the sense of you didn't level up. So in order to level up, you would put icons into like your how does it? You had like a sphere grid almost, but you input your own icons onto the grid to make yourself stronger, things like this. So you would have to add an icon to give yourself a potion, an icon for a high potion, things like this. But you'd also have to put an icon to level up. So it was a bit of a weird system. I mean, I
Sounds cool.
can't fault them for trying, but yeah, very, very different. And unfortunately, a lot of the missions were push this block, hit this ball. It wasn't always fighting Heartless and things like that. But what it did do is it got Roxas back in the game, and I think it's one of the few games that really did refocus on Roxas after the start of two. Um, and so it's his time in the organization. So from the minute that Sora becomes gets a nobody in Kingdom Hearts 1. So when I think he like, doesn't he exit his and Kairi's heart out of his body, I think, which creates a nobody, and that's Roxas. Um, and it ends when he wakes up, well, like Sora wakes up in 2. So that's sort of like Roxas's little 358 over 2 days storyline. And it transpires over 358 days, hence that's why the name is. And then over 2 is because of a character who's only in this game, or as far as I'm aware, which is Shion, which is a weird character because she is Sora. She's a fake version of Sora created by the organization in case Roxas fails.
Okay. So
So
all right.
it's really extra. She does, spoilers, she dies at the end of it because in order for Sora to wake up, all of her existence needs to be transported back into Sora's memory, sort of thing. So much like Roxas has to go back, so does she. But she very much disappears. And Roxas is the only one who can really see what she looks like. So everyone else just sees her with a hood up. But Roxas sees her as a girl who looks just like Kairi, and that's because he has some of Sora's memories. But by the end of the game, she turns into Sora, so it's really weird. It's just kooky. And the two Soras, so Roxas and Shion, they are the two. So 358 days over Roxas and Shion. And that's kind of the story. It's just them exploring. They go to Disney Worlds, ongoing dramas that obviously always go on at Disney Worlds and Kingdom Hearts. While he's doing the mission, Roxas is doing missions for the organization. Um, it it's a good fun game. In my opinion, it's one of the worst of Kingdom Hearts games, but I do like a lot of the games. So um,
Yeah, that sounds a bit pants. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, well,
Like,
this is it. Saying that, it sold over 1.2 million copies. Um, it was one of the top selling DS titles for 2009. And generally at the time, it had favorable reviews. So it's one of those games that when people
hmm.
start looking back on it, they start going, "Oh, wait, this was a bit shit." I think
Yeah,
because it
so
was the first.
it doesn't sound like it fits anywhere into the story at all.
Well, this is it. It's so unnecessary, which is why I think
Yeah,
why it was done so dirty in the collections when it was just turned into a movie, because it's it's just a bit meh. Um, yeah. So it came out in 2010. It's something I used to forget about. So in Japan, it released in January 2010, and in Europe, we had to wait till September. And I forgot that was a thing with Kingdom Hearts games. Um,
yeah. Some games like that did come out over there first, didn't they?
yeah, so we would see all the videos of it and stuff, and we wouldn't actually get, get to enjoy it.
Yeah, the same thing happened with Birth by Sleep. It was like whole 9 months beforehand.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I remember being really excited for Birth by Sleep, and because there was never anything. We saw at the end of 2 like a hint of Birth by Sleep in the final mix Super Duper edition, right? But there was nothing about 358 over 2 days. It was just such a bleh.
you could still get a Birth by Sleep thing in the original game.
Oh, could you?
You
I
just had
did
to
not
get the
get it.
secret ending. Yeah, you had to hit certain levels, get a certain amount of item completion, a certain all like the little Trinity symbols, all something else, and then you'd unlock a super secret ending.
Yeah. See, there was nothing in 358 like that. There wasn't anything that people really clung on to, and as you said, it's an unnecessary addition. It's nice because what it does is Axel and Roxas's relationship. It really fleshes it
Yeah,
out, and it shows you why, um, it's so important Axel's relationship with him at the start of 2, but it came out after 2, so it's just
yeah.
yeah. Retrospectively, it was nice, but yeah.
Oh,
And I watched the rewatched the movie to sort of like remember myself, and just Axel's lines with Roxas Theory, just like so cringy.
questionable. Yeah.
Yeah, just yeah, it was very very 2010. But so yeah,
It's kind of
I
mad
think it's definitely.
because they came out almost the same time then, because Birth by Sleep was 2010 as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I suppose
See,
that sort of makes sense to fill the Sony and Nintendo. Maybe that's why they did it. Because they're like, oh shit, we got Birth by Sleep. Maybe we should put something on the Nintendo, seeing as we did something on Game Boy. Oops.
yeah, yeah, you might, yeah, that makes sense though, doesn't it?
And as well, have it because Birth by Sleep is so heavy on the story, and the story sort of doesn't happen. Kingdom Hearts doesn't happen without Birth by Sleep.
No.
And I mean, in sense, then Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't happen without Birth by Sleep. Maybe they were like, oh, you know what? Let's just do something that's a little lighter because we're going a bit hard on this other one.
Yeah. The thing I find very interesting was the difference. So, like you've brought up, and obviously we're going to get into that in a second. Like, very much you'll get into that. But with 350 over 2 days, it's completely mission based. So, very short missions, 5 to 10
Hmm.
minutes. Like, if you've got a big boss, you might be on it for 10 minutes. But really short, not huge amounts of story. Compare that. I was just thinking, compare that to Birth by Sleep, which is also a portable game. That's not chunky little missions at all. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Birth by Sleep's weird though because being three characters that all go to the same places, they showed you all the worlds from three different perspectives, which was kind of cool. So you don't do the same thing in each world. The worlds were really big, but there wasn't very much in them. They were quite barren. Like there wasn't a whole lot to do in the game. That was because you had to go back there three times. They were like, right, you make it's big, so you don't notice these other little paths you can go down because you're not meant to go down those paths, and you'll think, oh man, that's too long to get over there. And maybe that was part of the game design to try and sort of save on space. So like, let's reuse as many assets as possible, but that then means in each story we can't have too many assets individual for that sort of
Yeah,
thing. Because yeah, that's one thing that Earth does. You know, you got to go to. Apart from two characters, don't go to one area each. Terra never goes to Neverland, and Aqua never goes to Olympus Coliseum.
okay.
Um, but yeah, all three of them go to all the other Disney worlds. So if you're running down the same paths, you get bored, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it, yeah. I Birth by Sleep is one that I really want to revisit. It's one that is definitely a bit gappy. I've got to put my hands up. I never did all three stories at the time.
Yeah, neither did I. I did Terra. I started Ventus, and I don't think I ever did Aqua. But that's so. There's a supposed play order for Birth, and that is the play order. You should play as Terra, then Ventus, then Aqua.
Okay.
Which, having read and watched more about the story, does make sense because Terra's part. The ending sort of goes like that. Terra's part happens, then Ventus's part happens, and then Aqua sort of not saves the day, but saves the day. I guess.
Yeah.
Without going into it too deeply just yet. But
Well, I the other reason I want to go back to it is I did finish three. So Kingdom Hearts with the first proper console numbered Kingdom Hearts game, which has very much mixed reviews and very much looking forward to chatting about that one day. But
blah.
Aqua's in it, like it's a really key. She's a key character, and it like we're talking about the difference between Birth by Sleep and 358 over 2. Like it's so important. It
Yeah,
can't be missed.
yeah. I mean, well, Sora. Um, the reason Roxas looks like Roxas is because of Ventus. So Roxas
Yeah.
actually looks exactly like Ventus, and that's because the end of Birth, Ventus, Ventus and Vanitas, who are like pure light. Ventus is like being like he's like one of the princesses of heart almost. To being a pure light. Vanitas is a being of pure darkness, and combining them together creates something called the X Blade, which allows you to open Kingdom Hearts, which is Xehanort's Grandmaster plan. Ventus manages to obviously isn't going to lose to his bad guy. Managed to beat Vanitas, but it sort of exhausts his body to the point where his heart has to take refuge in another being, and takes refuge in Sora.
Oh
So
my god. Okay.
yeah, so Roxas then, when Sora becomes a nobody, is his when Sora becomes a heartless, his nobody Roxas looks like Ventus. Ah. And Vanitas actually looks like Sora. Long hair, dark hair.
Okay. I was
So it's
so confused when he rocks up, and I was like, Roxas. I remember being like,
yeah, what's he doing?
yeah, like,
It's mad because
but timey wimey.
it's only set 10 years before um, Kingdom Hearts 1, which I thought was weird because it feels like it should be set way, way before. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
the Keyblade Wars should be like eons ago, but no, it was 10 years ago. I'm like, what? Oh no, the Keyblade Wars were way before Birth by Sleep, even. Because the Keyblade Wars are what happens in the mobile game.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, so it's set Birth by Sleep, so 10 years before the events of Kingdom Hearts. And it's split for Terra, Aqua, and Ventus, who are all like they are trying to become Keyblade Masters. They're all like good buddies, but only Aqua becomes a Keyblade Master, which sets off Terra on his little moody Leon Squall wannabe arc. And opens him up to get him manipulated by Xehanort, which, I'm sorry, as soon as you start playing Birth by Sleep, you're like, bad guy.
Yeah.
He's in charge. Like, look at him, bad guy. Like, you ask anyone, bad guy.
Yeah.
Even the Vanitas, I'd be like, oh no, he's just wearing Riku's outfit. He's got like, the same, like, Kingdom Hearts 1 Riku outfit where he's taken over by the darkness, but, he doesn't look as bad. Xehanort, bad guy. Basically just revolt. They all go into different worlds, and Terra's going around trying to sort of like conquer the darkness which is in his heart. But when he fails his exam, Xehanort sort of starts pulling the darkness heartstrings and manipulating Terra into committing some not very nice acts. When you take a step back, though Terra is just doing what he's told, he's just like sort of the good little soldier. Eventually, Terra kills his master, which is some samurai dude, and ends up like fully succumbing to the darkness because Xehanort wants to use Terra's body as his new body. He wants to possess Terra, which he succeeds in, which happen. The Kingdom Hearts 2 final mix has a secret boss, which is the remnants of Terra's body. I can't remember what it's called, but you fight him in like the Keyblade graveyard.
Yeah.
You go there, and he's the suit of armor guy. I think the Undying. I think it might have been called, or the Unyielding, or the Unsomething. He ultimately loses to Xehanort and becomes Terra Xehanort. But Aqua sort of saves him a little bit. We'll get into Aqua's. So yeah, she passes her Keyblade Master exam, and then she just sort of goes around like being a Keyblade Master, being all happy, like yeah, Keyblade Master, cool stuff. But eventually has to sort of save everyone, and she ends up in the world of darkness, which I imagine is where she comes from in 3. She's basically stuck there. And there's a couple of, I don't know what games they're in, but there's a couple of like little scenes of someone hooded in that World of Darkness, and supposedly then that's Aqua
Okay.
again. Um, and yeah, she's trapped in the realm of darkness for years. And then Ventus, he's like the newbie Keyblade apprentice at the
Mm.
start, and he bumps into Vanitas, who he's like all confused about. It's like, who's this dude? But he is actually being created by Xehanort. Both of them, I think, been created by Xehanort to make this X-Blade by
Yeah.
fusing their hearts together, so he could open Kingdom Hearts. Ventus is the one that like bumps into Mickey a bunch and becomes super friends with all the Disney characters. He has the classic sort of Sora adventure, whereas the others don't. Yeah, eventually everyone ends up at the Keyblade graveyard to duke it out, and Kingdom Hearts 1 happens.
I remember that game being hard as well. I think I just wasn't very good.
Yeah, it had some funky battle systems. I can't remember. I don't have those notes really as much. I was looking more at story and stuff because
Yeah.
there's so much of it. But I do remember from when I played it, there being some funky battle systems. They used a lot of the triangle triggers a lot more. There was a lot more bars. I remember there being a lot more bars you could fill up, and like you could level up skills more and stuff. Because I always remember grinding with Terra to get to some crazy high level to do something for some reason. I don't remember exactly what for, but I remember doing it. But I definitely would want to go back and play again to do all three.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to do. Because when I first played, I was like, and I went when I first had it, and I went back to those worlds after completing it with Terra. I was like, oh, I'm just going to be doing the same thing again. Oh, that's kind of boring, and that's why I sort of dropped it.
Yeah.
But now I could appreciate the story, I guess.
That I didn't really fully understand the three interweaving story systems because it's not modern day. We didn't have the internet. We had some magazines and stuff, I guess, but and
2010.
we hadn't experienced a Kingdom Hearts game like that. We'd had 1, 2 Chain of Memories. I think it's the only Kingdom Hearts game where you like replay it through as different characters and stuff. So,
Chain of Memories, you played as Riku.
oh yeah, now I'm Dreamed Up Distance plays Riku as well. So yeah, no, actually, yeah,
But you have to complete the game to play as Riku in Chain. I don't know what it's like in Dream Top Distance. You got to finish the game as Sora, and then you can unlock Riku, and you play the game backwards. So it's sort of a different game. But
yeah. But I think I'd have probably also I never finished Chain of Memories back in the day, but I would have probably got to that point and gone, oh, I don't want to play it again. And, like, time was limited for me at that point. I was at secondary school, so you hang up, mate.
play it under the covers at night. That the Game Boy Advance SP on the backlight. It's great. The worlds that they picked for Birth by Sleep were kind of interesting. The first one to have Lilo and Stitch. So that introduces then Stitch as why he's a summon in 2, maybe. Because he showed up there.
Yeah. Because they had Agrabah, Lion King. I'm trying to remember what else was in Dream 358/2. What else did we have in Birth?
So Birth seemed to follow more like a similar pattern to Kingdom Hearts 1, where it feels more like Princesses of Heart. You've got Cinderella, so you've got the Castle of Dreams, Cinderella, the Dwarfwood Lands was Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, Radiant Garden, which is the first introduction to that place, and then Mickey Mouse, really. And then you got Lilo and Stitch, Hercules, and Peter Pan. So it's basically where all the Princesses of Heart are, apart from Mulan. She wasn't one. There was a couple of other princesses.
Yeah, Mulan. She was in 2, wasn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like more focused on that than, which is I suppose makes sense because that was then before Kingdom Hearts 1, so they were still sort of important.
Hmm.
Maybe they were the backup to getting into Kingdom Hearts if the X-Blade failed, or maybe they needed to be around for the X-Blade to work.
And this was also when they still had a relatively good relationship with Square Enix, right? As they well, they are Square Enix, but let me rephrase it, with the Final Fantasy characters, they there was still characters there, I think, in Birth.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I wish I remembered who it was who was in it, because I remember them being there, but I now am I making that up because it would be weird them being there because of the time scale of it. Cloud seemed to be in a lot back
Few.
then.
Zack, a Moogle, Zack and a Moogle.
Zack and a Moogle, right? Yeah. Well, it's more than we had in 3, so we'll go.
It'd be Olympus as well. I mean, Moogles are always around for synthesizing, aren't they?
Yeah.
But yeah, Zack was at Olympus Coliseum.
Cool. So, and that would make sense as well because that was around the time of Crisis Core, PSP.
Yeah,
So they're trying to like bring it all together.
a little bit.
What a game! What a game! I remember getting Birth by Sleep on release as well. I got the special edition, came with a little Disney pin. I still wear it on a denim jacket. It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
Yeah, man. What that ending to Kingdom Hearts 2 with the Keyblade War, fucking watched so much. I expected it to be more of a war. I didn't expect it to be, oh, okay, we're going to be playing as these 3 people, like speculating who they were during that trailer. Be like, wait, what the fuck? Why does he look like this guy? Why does he look like that guy? But yeah, so it's funny because well, not funny. The game it really does set everything up because Xehanort Terra, so that sort of still does happen. So Terra still sort of ends up possessed by Xehanort, but when Aqua saves him, she sort of makes him lose his memories, and he then that's when he becomes the apprentice to Ansem the Wise.
Yes.
For I don't know, in 2, if you read all the, if you collect all the Ansem journals and read those, it explains more about how he finds him, I think. And it's like, oh, this is my new apprentice. Name is Xehanort. But yeah, that's actually Terra. So
yeah.
The person that you then fight in Kingdom Hearts 2 is Terra Xehanort. Still,
It's all the body switching stuff which makes it really. I think that was the thing by Birth by Sleep that the hardest thing I got is again I was so confused. So the games up to that point were a little bit like head scratchy because then you started bringing the organization and things like this. But Birth by Sleep really did just seem to like crack you over the head with it. Of right now we're getting into some this person's this and then
yeah, and this person has this name, but is also known by this name and this name and this name. Like, wait, what? That weirded me out. I do feel like Kingdom Hearts is unnecessarily complicated at this point. I don't think it needs to be, especially with like all the happy Disney characters in the background, and you got this super spaghetti mess of lore. It's cool to a degree, and then it just starts to lose you really quick.
yeah.
If you can't sort of keep up. I mean, when it was just Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2, for me, it was great. And so Chain of Memories, it's annoying because it's also essential. I mean, you can play them without playing all the other games, but if you really want to know what's actually going on, you have to. Which they're not just side stories; they're critical stories on other consoles.
I don't know of any other series that's done that where it's been like
Not that
basically
much.
yeah because Chain of Memories is Kingdom Hearts 1.5 and this is like Birth by Sleep is 2.5.
Birth by Sleep is
Oh no,
0.
it's not 0. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
um,
Well, I mean, yeah, no, it's like 0.5 because in the mobile game is 0. And the
0.
mobile
Yeah,
game is like negative 5,000. Oh,
it's which
I,
yeah,
I would have more coherent stuff to say, but it just all confuses me so much. So if I talk about 1 point, you then got to talk about the point 4 points down for that 1 point to make sense. It, yeah, it's a tricky one.
it's a
It's a tricky
tricky
one
one.
to talk about. And like even watching multiple different videos, everybody was explaining different things, and I'm like, it just sort of stops you. And you're like, oh, it really would have been better just to play the game
Yeah,
and sort of try and draw your own conclusions. But even then, that might have just confused me more. So
I think as well the key thing with Birth by Sleep, looking back at it now, is that there is so much other content. There are so many other games still to come. That yeah, it adds so much in retrospectively that then makes it even more confusing. So at the time when you played it, it was confusing, but you could sort of muddle along. Whereas now it's even more confusing because oh well, this happens then in the future as well, like in future
yeah,
games, and it's like even the name is that is they started getting fancy.
I mean, yeah, I mean it is the birth of the game. It is the birth of the series by the sleeping of a character
Fair,
because Ventus's body has to go to sleep. Basically, he's hidden in Castle Oblivion, I
yes,
think. Yeah. So his body is there, and his heart is in Sora. So then, because Sora's heart has two hearts, that's why Sora's so fucky. And so many different things can happen with him, like why you can get a nobody and a heartless and everything. And then like his heart is super duper pure because it can allow people to harbor their hearts in his heart, and
but
yeah,
because it gets the yeah. I don't want to go too far ahead, but it's all about as well who can wield a keyblade. So that's something that is to nip back to 358 over 2. The reason why Roxas and Shion are known for being different to all the other organization members is that they can wield a keyblade. So there is a point where Riku bumps into Shion. It's like, wait a minute, you have a keyblade. You shouldn't be with the organization. Like this doesn't make sense because that's while Riku is in the world of darkness and all a bit fucky, and that's what prompts her to leave the organization.
it's
It
funny
is
because
the
she looks a little like Aqua, less colored hair, but a little bit.
yeah.
That's what I thought. I thought she might be Aqua's nobody.
No, so yeah, she is all off the back of Sora, which is and again because Kyrie's heart is sort of within Sora and Roxas meets Kyrie in two with that. Oh, it's just yeah, it's all again.
Everybody
Why would
knows
you?
each other, but nobody knows how anybody knows each other.
Yeah,
How are you friends? Oh, we knew each other before I came to the Destiny Island. Wait, what?
yeah, and then you get to the whole concept of Destiny Island. Like that is a proper fucky thing.
Yeah, it's Mecca. All the worlds in Kingdom Hearts are all made because the people from at the end of the mobile game sacrifice. The big bad guy wins the end of the mobile game, but all the good guys sacrifice their hearts to create like little pocket fragment dimensions of happy place that people can live. What? Something like that. Probably
Like
not what happened, but
very off topic. Do they ever discuss why there's no parents in Kingdom Hearts? Like Sora, Riku, Kairi,
no.
Waka,
I think
Tita, like
there was a little. There was the I think the video that I watched about the mobile game has something about it, but no, I mean you just don't know. You just don't see them.
yeah. But that's it, isn't it? It's just a bunch of kids living on an island,
Hmm.
wanting to explore. And Yeah.
They're on the Lost Island. They're all just dead,
Yeah.
just in purgatory, just waiting to take over.
Oh
And then
man.
one day Mickey turns up and is like, "Here, have a Keyblade." Uh-huh.
Funny.
Weird series, man.
It's a weird
Love
series.
it.
Yeah, but and that's what I'd say. I
Do not
still love it.
understand it at all. But I suppose like the best game series, you just don't understand at all because like anybody that claims they understand Metal Gear Solid or Kojima just is chatting out their ass.
I don't know. For Metal Gear, I think it has more of a through line.
Oh
It's
yeah,
weird and
but
kooky, but there is more of like A to B.
nobody understands what Kojima's actually trying to get at.
Oh no,
Yeah.
but
Death Stranding, same. Like black goo monsters coming to nuke the world, so people got to breathe with babies. What?
yeah, it very confusing.
I mean,
They're
Final
auteurs, aren't they? These
Fantasy,
guys.
just every Final Fantasy is a bit fucking kooky as shit. Can't you really understand the themes and narratives of all of that?
Yeah,
Narratives, and just the themes of all Final Fantasy games. We like start reading books on from inside the games, like in Oblivion and Skyrim. There's actually so much you have no idea actually what's going on in the story of Elder
no,
Scrolls. I imagine something similar in Fallout. You're just in like these little pockets of time.
but it's
Ramble.
a.
Sorry.
I wouldn't rush to replay 358/2. That's not one that I would run to replay. It's interesting for its battle mechanics and stuff like that, but otherwise no. But I would definitely. I'm keen to replay Birth by Sleep.
Yeah. We could do a oh no, you can't stream Kingdom Hearts games, can you?
It's a weird fucky thing, Disney music and stuff. So I don't really get it. Yeah,
Sad. I was going to say you could just do it totally in chronological order.
yeah. No, it would be good.
That'd be a fun playthrough. It would take a while.
It would take a while. Because did you ever finish your playthrough of 2?
Critical mode one, no.
No.
I got a good way through. I think I just sort of lost interest.
Yeah, something else shiny came along, right?
Especially I didn't like the idea of streaming the game and the game going on YouTube without sound.
Yeah, it kept muting itself, didn't it?
It's just like it's half the game is like the whimsical music and everything of it. So it's a bit meh.
Meh.
I don't really want to do that if it's not all there because it all ties into the experience, you know.
No, I get you. And that is one of the sad things about replaying those games is that they are hard to do because of the difficulties with them. Oh well. Well, there you have it. 358/2 and Birth by Sleep.
Yeah. I would recommend if you would like to know more about these games.
Yeah.
There's going to be some video essays that will do like double the length of what this podcast is going to be about each game.
Yeah.
And they will tell you every single little thing because there was no way we were going to be able to explain both of them in under an hour.
No. But I don't know. I think we did a pretty good job. I definitely your explanation of Birth by Sleep reminded me of a lot of stuff that I'd forgotten about, and I think it was very good. So well done.
Thank you. Yeah, I absolutely butchered backwards, but at the end of the day, I think she is just there to save the day.
Yeah, she kind of isn't she?
She's like the mum. She's the mum. What's his name? Terror is just Squall for Kingdom Hearts. Just angsty, angry dude. And Ventus is a Keyblade.
Is a Keyblade, yeah. Oh. Wow. Good times. I think we'll probably end it there.
Yeah, I'm rather hungry. I need to go cook some lunch.
Yeah, food is important. Well, do keep an eye on the channel for some more Kingdom Hearts shenanigans and other retrospectives. Till next time, I've been Beyond Joe.
And I'm Stephen.
And thank you for joining us.
I was trying to think of a Kingdom Hearts world name in another world.